Are you ready for brown gravy? Oh, taste and see, there's a word for you and me. For brown gravy.
Serving the uncompromising truth makes us truly free.
For brown gravy. Open your heart, your mind, your soul, he'll make you whole. For brown gravy.
Preaching with power.
It's the relevant leadership strategist.
Well, good God bless you. Welcome right back in to a brown gravy moment. You know what? I thought about it. Maybe you don't understand this brown gravy concept. Maybe you're a new watcher and you're trying to figure out what was he talking about? So let's talk a little bit about what brown gravy is. Well, my last name is Brown, and one of the ways that I communicate is in such a relevant way and palatable, I believe, for those to whom would work on Wall Street and then those who chill on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And so that mixture I call is brown gravy. Well, why do you call it brown gravy? If you put brown gravy on almost anything, it tastes good. Now, don't challenge me on this. I know what I'm talking about. You can look at my size and can tell. I understand the effects of brown gravy. So anything you layer gravy on, brown gravy, it tends to add to it to make it palatable. When I say brown gravy, it is my attempt to make the truth, God's truth, palatable for anybody that's listening and relatable to anybody that's listening. We can use words that tickle your cognitive sense, or we can go on down and just deal with the down dirty in the dirty South and help you understand it that way as well. That's brown gravy. I'm a senior pastor, Sword of Truth in Bennettsville, the great city of Bennettsville, and the presiding prelate of Kingdom Fellowship of Ministries. And so we have a couple of different hats, and the president of R.C. Brown Enterprises. We'll talk about all that later. I want you now to grab somebody and make sure that they're tuning in, because these segments are going to bless your life. We're talking about toxic relationships. How about go ahead and tag that, if you will, hashtag it, hashtag toxic relationship. Tag me when you post it and let folk know that we're helping to revolutionize their life by dealing with toxic relationships. Now, how many of you would attempt to want to shift and change the very dynamics of your life? That as hard as you may try, sometimes it seems as if they're the proverbial sandbags on your ankles holding you down. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the fact that somewhere along the line, a toxic relationship has found its way inside of you. Now, that's a toxic relationship with either a person, a toxic relationship with either a place, or a toxic relationship with a thing. The last time we saw one another, I was talking about toxic relationships with a place. Now I want to kind of deal with a toxic relationship with a thing that you could literally have an affinity for something that's not good for you. Now, at the Sword of Truth, I'm raw. Now, I told you I'm the relevant leadership strategist, and I just kind of say it like it is. And usually I need to use certain things that I believe will get the people's attention so that they get exactly what I'm talking about. And so when we're talking about a certain thing, there may be objects in your house that, or objects in your car, objects at your job, that you literally have a toxic relationship with. It could be a picture that you're salivating over an object, an inanimate object, like a picture. It could be toys that you use to stimulate certain stimuli in the body. I tried to say that as politically correct as I could. And that is a toxic relationship with that object, because it's causing you to think and or your mind to wander in areas and places that it should not. Yeah, it's so easy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, that's not to bash you. I'm not the beat you up guy. I'm the get you up guy. But we have to talk about the reality of some of those things so that you can begin to assess whether or not you are hooked in to anything that's toxic, whether it's a relationship with a person, whether it's a relationship with a thing, or whether it's a relationship with a place. I want you to tune in and listen into what's happening in this particular lesson. We taught it at the Sword of Truth. Is dealing with toxic relationships. I believe that it'll bless you. I believe that it'll help you understand and get better clarity on what you're dealing with, as it were, with toxic relationships. Tune in. I said in the 9 o'clock service, and I need to at least broach it with our 10:30 service, we are catching the middle of a conversation. The man of God is addressing the saints of God. The man of God is addressing the people of God. He's addressing the people of God now. Now you gotta get it, the context of this, that there has been a group of the sanctified, the blood-washed believer, right, who had long conversations, intimate conversations. Let me qualify that. Lord, I didn't say that at 9:30, and I hope nobody walks away thinking they don't need to talk to people, because that's not what I mean. But it was an intimate conversation where there was seed dropped and received, right? Because now it's a very weak-minded person that can't have a conversation with someone and be converted. Are y'all in the room? That you should be able to talk to anybody and they not be able to sway you from what you believe, what you know. Yeah, you don't have to kick Jehovah's Witnesses out. Let them talk. I know in whom I believe, and I am persuaded. You see what I'm saying? Amen. And so I'm not saying be mean and don't talk to people. That's not the concept or what the content that happened at this particular juncture. These saints, now these men and women of God, they were having intimate conversations with an unbeliever or unbelievers. And these people were telling them about the resurrection that they studied. You know, if you have a conversation with a slickster or someone who really knows how to work well with their tongue, they can almost convince you that your truth is a false. You never talked to someone who could talk you out of your car? And you're trying to scratch your head figuring out why you gave it to him, okay, all right. And so he is addressing the church. I don't want you to get this twisted. I don't want you to think that he's talking to just anybody. He's talking to the church. And he said to them, don't be fooled by who, put your glasses on, Brown. Don't be fooled by those who say such things. Here it is, where I want to go. For bad company corrupts good character. Oh, I'm going to ride that for a minute, right? For bad company corrupts good character. Here you go. Oh, I can change them. Bad company corrupts good character. Oh no, but they are my assignment. Bad company corrupts good character. But they do good things. Help me with it. Bad company corrupts good character. All right, the next verse says, now listen to this. It says, verse 34, think carefully about what is right and stop sinning. Think carefully about what is right and stop sinning. Now, you have to pick apart words. Why would he say think carefully? Because thinking should be automatic. I mean, you got a brain. But by the way, you know, just because common sense is common doesn't mean everybody got it. And it ain't that common, by the way. All right, so he says think clearly. That word clearly there means that there is something obstructing your ability to see well, right? And so whenever we're dealing with bad company, they come in a cloud of smoke, right? You won't be able to see it very clearly. So he says, wait a minute now, think about this thing before you do it. I'm kind of early in the lesson, but some of you have been making knee-jerk decisions that you've not thought that thing through. Would you look at the person next to you and give them that kind of look like you know they did something they wasn't supposed to and tell them, mm-hmm. You ain't do it right. I mean, no, put that real good look on their face like, yeah, you know you weren't supposed to do that. Look at them again and say, mm-hmm. Right. So he says, think
carefully about what is right and stop sinning. What is right and stop sinning. Not what is facts, what is right. Not the facts now. We're talking about what is right. We're not talking about facts. We're talking about truth. And sometimes truth contradicts facts. What is right? Watch this now. For your shame, for to your shame, I shall say that some of you don't know God at all. Now he's talking to the saints who love God, who lift their hands, who praise, who da bunk, da bunk, da bunk, who ita, who shake their hand real hard, who shake their head like that, who can tune up and be flat, or C sharp in my case. He said, yeah, I'm convinced that here it is, by your community. Oh, this is so good. By the people that you are surrounded by, I'm convinced by how you think that you don't know God at all. That's harsh, man. That's not, he didn't even give him a little bit. He said, you don't even know him. All right, run, Brown. Okay, so then that means we need to discuss these two words, a few words, and the title is Toxic Relationships. And so let's dig in to those two words, and I'll try to get further than I got with the 9 a.m. service. Shout toxic. Here is the definition of toxic, and it's on the screen. Here it is: containing or being poisonous material. Yeah, containing or being poisonous material. Right. It's in me, or I have it. Containing, internal, or being is in my hand, external, poisonous material, especially when capable of causing death or serious debilitation. So anything that's toxic is capable of causing death or serious debilitation. Now let's unpack the word death, because I don't want you to be afraid. This isn't Halloween. We already passed it. Jason or Michael Myers, that movie already done passed. I don't know how well it did, but I have to peep at it sooner or later. So I'm not talking about No, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm not talking about Chucky, friend to the end. Although that can happen, by the way. That there can be something so toxic that you literally die. I told them in the early service, like doorknob dead die, like casket sharp die kind of thing. So don't think that that's not possible, because it is. Because there's some folk that's just fool. I wish I had some help in the room. No. I said I wish I had some help in the room. Now there's some people who will kill you, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say it. I mean, I know we're in church. I get it. But if I don't cover every base, then you don't have anything to fight with. That there are some people that's crazy. They don't need oil. They need a couch. Come in this room. They don't need oil. They need medicine. You follow what I'm saying there? Nothing wrong with that. If you need it, go get it. And so they will kill you like doorknob dead. And the Bible says that they think they did God a service because they killed you. That they don't wipe you off the face of the earth because something is wrong with them. So yes, that's possible, but that's really not the one I'm talking about. The death I'm talking about is when you die emotionally. Like there are a lot of you all that's sitting in here listening to my voice that's dead emotionally. That's why nothing moved you. That's why the more they kept singing, I'm desperate, you couldn't find a desperate place because you're dead emotionally. Y'all not in this room. That where tears were flowing out of my eyes, nothing was flowing out of yours, because you are dead emotionally because of toxicity. Y'all in the room. Yeah, so I'm talking about the death of your emotions. I'm talking about the death of relationships where you don't even like people. That there could be relationships that you get in that make it so difficult for you to even like anybody that is called human. So then you put all your love in a dog. Why y'all ain't talking to me? You put all your love in a cat. You put all your love in a car, a house, because I don't like people. I'm dead in relationships. Now I'll deal with them because I got to deal with them, but I ain't really going to feel them because the last time I tried to feel them, it did something in me that killed me. It was toxic. Some of you don't even want relationships anymore. Some of my single people, the female end, don't want another person in their life. You follow what I'm saying? That the thought of a man almost makes you throw up because of the last relationship that you were in completely destroyed all hope that you had in what men or mankind is. Do I have anybody in the building? Okay, and so then my women now, you don't have an issue with the women, with the men, but the men could have gotten in a relationship with a nasty, toxic woman that had every curve needed, but the contents was poison. I wish I had some help in the room. So this isn't talking about how they look physically. This is talking about what they have internally. And although you had a great package, it had awful contents. Why y'all not in this room? And it makes you not even want I'm not getting married now. I might play around, but oh, y'all ain't talking. See, some of y'all sanctified and saved and say, I just rather play around and just deal with God's mercy than to get married. And then some of you are married right now to somebody. Let me come back right back here. Causing death. Somebody say death. Or serious debilitation. We have to pick that apart. Serious debilitation. And so some of you are not dead emotionally. You're still alive. Some of you are not dead relationally. You still got that. Some of you are not dead financially because toxicity can kill your money. Maybe you didn't hear what I said. I said being toxic can destroy your money now. You can mess up in the money category because of toxicity. And so debilitation is something different though. See, debilitation means that you got all the feeling internally that you need, but you still can't move. Right? It means being immobile. That there's something toxic in you that keeps you frozen. Yeah, come on, Brown. I'm feeling it now. That there are opportunities that many of you can't even get into because you're debilitated by something toxic in you. Yeah, DJ, I told them earlier that I don't really have real good TV games, so the shows I watch might not be the most popular kind of TV shows, but on Saturday I get up and watch Dr. Chris Pet Vet. I mean, I don't know why I like it. I just like the doggone thing. I wish I didn't like it because I'm almost embarrassed that I like it, but I like it. And right before that, it's the inspectors. They do the mail thing. Yeah, it's so boring. Bad acting, everything, but I watch it. All right? And so Dr. Chris Pet Vet, they had a little white dog brought to Dr. Chris. And they kept saying to Dr. Chris, that there's something wrong with my dog. That they look right on the outside. That everything on the outside is fine, but they're not moving. Come in here. All of y'all look good on the outside, but all of y'all are not moving. Don't you let time make you think that you're growing, because time doesn't mean growth, by the way. You heard that? You heard folks say things like time heals all things? No, it does not. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program. Okay, and so this dog was not moving, and so they started examining the dog and looking all over it, and then they ended up finding the problem. It was something so small that if you don't dig deeper into it and look closer into it, you'll miss it. Something so teeny. You know, the scripture talks about the small foxes. Yeah, it was that thing that's not readily seen. It was that thing that's not like a red flag, because we can handle red flags. We can kind of tell when it's like, uh-oh, no, can't go in there, can't do that. We know those opportunities, but they couldn't find a red flag, so they kept digging deeper and found a tick. Real small black tick that already latched itself onto the puppy, sucking blood from it, but releasing venom into the dog. Ooh, Lord, Dr. Chris said something to me. He said, listen, if this tick stays on this dog, it's going to keep working its nervous system until it's no longer able to move or breathe on its own. It's going to first paralyze it from walking, then it's going to paralyze it from breathing. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? And so I want to talk to some folk in this room that already feel like you're paralyzed in your movement. Can I warn you that movement is the first place of paralyzation?
All right. So, how you feeling out there? Is it all right? You didn't leave me yet, did you? Are you still with me? Good. I'm glad you are, because here again, this teaching will shift and change your life. And by the way, if you want to purchase this in its entirety, it's about 6 segments. It's about 6 different teachings that we did on toxic relationships. You can email us. That email address is right there below there. You go ahead and email and say, I want to purchase the Toxic Relationship series. I promise you want to be able to sit and listen to this over and over again, because it's going to bless you. And hey, wait a minute. Did you tag me yet to let me know that you're watching? Yeah, go ahead. Facebook, you can kind of put that is if you have a certain kind of phone, you can minimize the box and go ahead and say, I'm watching a Brown Gravy Moment right now, and tag me when you do it so that I know that you're watching. I want to know that these things are helping you and that they're blessing you. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to gauge whether or not we're able to be a blessing to you. And all it takes is a click, is a tweet, is a text, is a post to let me know, an inbox. I mean, whichever way. I want to hear from you. So email me and let me know that we're there. And also, we'd like to stay on the air. We'd like to continue to do this for a while. We love what we do. I love to do what I get to do. But I'd also like your help. The gospel is free, but to get it out is not that free. Let me say that again. The gospel itself, it's free. But to get the word out, that's not free. And so if you would partner with me, and you can do it by Cash App, you can do it by PayPal, whatever way you'd like to do it, mail, snail mail, if you want to do it that way, I'm good with it. But if it's Cash App, it's $ Bishop Brown 3. I try to keep it all the same so that you don't get confused. And if it's PayPal, then it is bishopbrown3@gmail.com. Send a donation, and would you put in the comment box that you're donating to a Brown Gravy Moment? I promise you that all those funds will go directly to making sure that we keep spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. All right, so toxic relationships, right? So I told you that you could have a relationship that's toxic with a person. You can have a relationship that's toxic with a thing. And you can have a relationship that's toxic with a place. But that you have to begin to start deciphering through, disaggregating through some of those moments, because here it is, you will like many times the thing that's not good for you. Yeah, it's a very simple concept. Here's how the devil does it. He never tempts you. He never gets you with stuff you don't like. Oh, he's a smart guy. If he knows you don't like it, then he's not going to put it in front of you. If you're not a pickle person, well, you won't see pickles. If you're not a chocolate person, you're not going to see chocolate. But if chocolate is your thing and pickles are your thing, well, he's going to find a way to put chocolate and pickle together to put you overboard, to touch that thing so that he can begin to inject in you the toxicities that he'd love to have to keep you connected to him and never free. It's nothing worse than being functional yet still dysfunctional at the same time. What do you mean by that, Brown? That some people have learned how to make their dysfunction functional. Oh yeah, it's completely dysfunctional, but I've learned how to navigate and to function within my dysfunction and call that function. Yeah, it's because you're hooked now. It's because that toxin is in you. And we want to do our best to detox you, to get it out, to excommunicate any of those things that found itself in you out of you. Well, how can you do it, Bishop? I'm glad you asked. One way is to keep watching these segments, because within these segments, we go through ways of helping make sure you are detoxed from anything that has injected itself in you. We want you to be your best you. We want you to live your best life now, not later, now. And so you're going to have to go through these moments, these segments, to ensure that you're completely free from anything that's toxic. Dip back in and let's continue this journey together. God bless.
Working its nervous system until it's no longer able to move or breathe on its own. It's going to first paralyze it from walking, then it's going to paralyze it from breathing. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? And so I want to talk to some folk in this room that already feel like you're paralyzed in your movement. Can I warn you that movement is the first place of paralyzation, but that if you continue to be paralyzed even in your movement, that the next thing comes is your breathing. And so you're not just going to be not able to move, but you're not going to be able to breathe, which means you're going to suffocate in certain areas and suffocate in certain places, and you'll be amongst what we call the living dead. I wish I had somebody in this room that now you feel like you can't move, and you're moving into a place where you almost feel suffocated and I can't breathe. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, Janice, what tick has gotten on you? What little small, indiscreet, not readily noticed issue that's gotten on you? Wait now, wait. You ain't gonna notice it. But it's slowly eating away at you. You smile through it, but it's still eating at you. Y'all ain't talking. You keep going through life. You keep paying bills. You keep going to the work. You keep loving. You keep smiling. But there's some small thing that's sucking the life out of you, but releasing toxicity in you at the same time. Yeah, a tick is a leech. And it means that it continues to take away, but the only thing it gives you are things that kill you, not help you. Y'all not in this room. And what thought are you having a marriage with that's continuing to destroy you? Oh, God. You didn't hear what I said. If you heard what I said, you would have been shouting right there. I said, what thought are you married with? What concept are you married with? What thing is sucking the life out of you but making you paralyzed?
This is Bishop R. Christopher Brown III, Senior Pastor of the Sword of Truth in the great city of Bennettsville, South Carolina, 105 Cheraw Street. We believe a church alive is worth the drive. You should find yourself right in our city during our service time, 11 a.m. on Sunday morning, 7 p.m. on Tuesday evening. Sunday service, Tuesday Bible study. You matter and you belong there.
Reaching with power.
It's the relevant leadership strategist.